Yeah. Is it conceivable that you will ever visit Archie Bunker and he will visit you?
I've thought about it quite often, and I wish it could happen.
The laughter of Sanford and Son hid secrets so deep they could shake the very foundations of television history. For years, viewers watched Fred and Lamont and Esther and Grady thinking they knew their world. But what if the funniest moments were born from the most painful truths? What if the cast you loved held on to shocking stories they never shared? Until now. The persona paradox.
When you started doing that, how many times did you get fired?
Oh, I never got fired. I always
Really?
quit. Even if I was fired, I quit.
Long before the world knew him as Fred Sanford, Red Fox was a king of blue comedy. This meant his stand-up routines were packed with foul language, and jokes meant only for grown-ups. It was a sharp contrast to the family-friendly show that would make him a household name. He began his career in the 1940s, performing mime and singing in clubs in Harlem. This led him to become a master of ceremonies at a nightclub in Baltimore, where he really started to build his stand-up act. By 1947, working with another comedian named Slappy White, he was making a good living, earning about $450 a week. His big break came in 1964 when a TV host from NBC, Hugh Downs, saw him perform in San Francisco. Even though some NBC bosses worried about his blue humor, he was invited to appear on The Today Show. Soon after, everyone wanted him on their talk shows, like The Tonight Show, Joey Bishop, Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, and Steve Allen. When he played in Las Vegas, he was earning an impressive $4,000 a week. Sanford and Son quickly became a huge hit, staying in the top 10 TV shows for most of its 5-year run. This popularity meant Red Fox was paid very well, about $35,000 for each episode. But even with all that money, Red Fox wanted more. He demanded $25,000 a week, plus an extra dollar. His goal was clear. He wanted to earn more than Carol O'Connor, the white star of CBS's hit show All in the Family. This demand led to a shocking moment in 1974 when Red Fox walked off the set. He said it was because of health issues. Because he left, his character Fred had to be written out of 9 episodes across 2 seasons. The show's producers even sued him for $10 million. But Red Fox was too important to the show's success. In the end, a new deal was made. He got the higher salary he wanted, and also 25% of the show's net profits. A tragic echo.
I've never had pains like this before. Oh, this is the worst one I ever had, son.
Years after Sanford and Son ended, Red Fox was working on a new TV show for CBS called The Royal Family. This show was even produced by the famous comedian Eddie Murphy. But on October 11th, 1991, during a rehearsal, something truly heartbreaking happened. Red Fox clutched his chest and fell to the floor. His co-stars and the crew, who had seen Fred Sanford fake heart attacks many times on Sanford and Son, thought he was just doing his famous joke. They laughed, waiting for him to get up and deliver a punchline. But he never did. By the time they realized this was a real emergency, it was too late. Red Fox had suffered a fatal heart attack. The sad irony of Red Fox's death is how it mirrored his most famous joke. The laughter and the slow understanding by his co-workers show how deeply that joke was known in their minds and in the world of TV. The very joke that brought so much laughter became the tragic reality of his death, making his passing one of Hollywood's most ironic and heartbreaking moments. Even though Red Fox was earning a huge salary as a TV star, he faced very serious money problems. He loved fancy cars and owned several houses, and this expensive lifestyle led him to file for bankruptcy in 1983. Things got even worse for him. By 1989, the government's tax agency, the IRS, took almost everything he owned because he owed them $2.5 million in taxes, plus penalties and interest. This adds a sad layer to his story that most fans never knew. Even at the peak of his fame, Red Fox was battling severe financial difficulties, showing that Hollywood success does not always guarantee personal stability. The unspoken script wars.
Go take a bath. Go milk your goat.
Man, I did all that this morning, man.
Well, why don't you go back to Puerto Rico?
Behind the funny scenes of Sanford and Son, there was a constant battle about how black characters should really talk and act. Many of the show's writers were white, and they were trying to write stories about black life in Watts, a neighborhood in Los Angeles. Red Fox and the black cast often pushed back, telling the writers directly, "Black people don't talk like that." These arguments became more heated as time went on. In one very controversial scene, Fred Sanford used a racial slur in a courtroom. The audience in the studio cheered, but the executives at NBC were very worried. Red Fox insisted on saying the word. He argued that he could use it, but others could not. This bold move, while shocking for its time, showed how much Red Fox wanted the show to be real, even if it caused problems. Lamont's untold story.
If it wasn't for you holding me back, I could have been out of this junkyard a long time ago and into an office.
Yeah, the welfare office.
Demond Wilson, who played Lamont Sanford, the patient and often frustrated son, had a life story that was far more complex than his on-screen character suggested. His journey was marked by unexpected turns, from the battlefields of war to the struggles of Hollywood, and finally to a surprising new calling. Before he became Lamont Sanford, the calm and patient son, Demond Wilson had a past that very few fans knew about. He served in the United States Army from 1966 to 1968. He was part of the 4th Infantry Division and fought in the Vietnam War, where he was wounded. This experience in a war zone was a world away from the junkyard in Watts. Despite his military service, Demond Wilson also had a strong background in performing from a very young age. He made his first appearance on Broadway at just 4 years old. He also danced at Harlem's famous Apollo Theater when he was 12. When Red Fox walked off the show in 1977 due to salary disputes, Demond Wilson was deeply hurt. It wasn't just about the show ending, but about how he found out. Demond learned the shocking news from a newscaster in the hallway at NBC. This lack of direct communication from his co-star and on-screen father stung him deeply. Even though Demond Wilson had a $1 million contract waiting for him at CBS for a new show called Baby. I'm back. The personal slight from Red Fox stayed with him. He later spoke about it, saying, "I forgave him and I loved Red, but I never forgot that." The love was there. You can watch any episode and see that. Perhaps the most shocking secret about the Sanford and Son set came directly from Demond Wilson himself. In a revealing interview, he shared a detail that completely changes how fans might see the show. He said, "I never did an episode when I wasn't strapped." He then added, "Red too. I was strapped. You get ignorant, you're going to get bussed on." This candid revelation means that both Demond Wilson and Red Fox were carrying guns on the set of Sanford and Son. This hidden detail brings a harsh, real-life element to the show's history, standing in sharp contrast to its funny nature and raising questions about how safe performers really were back then. The set of Sanford and Son was far more dangerous than fans imagined, with both Red Fox and Demond Wilson carrying guns for personal safety. After Sanford and Son ended, Demond Wilson did not just look for more acting jobs. In a surprising turn, he became an ordained Pentecostal minister in 1984. His faith became the main focus of his life, showing a deep personal change. In 1994, he took his commitment to helping others even further by starting Restoration House. This special place provides spiritual guidance and job training for former prisoners, aiming to help them turn their lives around. He continued to write, including his memoir, and took on acting roles from time to time, but his work as a minister truly became his main purpose. Demond Wilson decided to share his side of the story in his book, Second Banana, The Bittersweet Memoirs of the Sanford and Son Years. He wrote this book to give a documented truth and a behind-the-scenes factual account of what truly happened during the show's run. He was tired of reading articles that got things wrong about him and Red Fox. He described the book and his years on the show as bittersweet, much like life itself. The title of Demon Wilson's book, Second Banana, immediately shows how he saw his role in the show, often overshadowed by Red Fox. His reason for writing the book, to give a documented truth and fix wrong articles, shows he wanted to tell his own story and give a more balanced, inside view of the show's history. The bittersweet description perfectly captures the mix of professional success and personal challenges, giving a detailed look into how the beloved TV show really worked. Demon Wilson's book offers a rare, honest look behind the scenes, revealing the bittersweet truth of his time on the show and his complex relationship with Red Fox. LaWanda Page's journey.
Hello, Fred. Hello, Woody. Goodbye, Woody.
LaWanda Page brought to life one of television's most memorable characters, Aunt Esther, the strict church-going sister-in-law of Fred Sanford. But behind Esther's pious exterior lay a past so wild and a personal struggle so profound that most viewers would never have guessed. LaWanda Page, known to millions as the strict church-going Aunt Esther, had a past that would shock most fans. Before she was on TV, she was a daring performer known by a very different name, the Bronze Goddess of Fire. Her act was truly dangerous, involving her lighting cigarettes with her fingertips, swallowing fire, and even touching flaming torches to her own body. She even admitted that she often burned herself during these risky shows, but she was willing to burn to make a living. Aunt Esther's strict persona hid a past as a fearless fire eater who literally risked her life on stage, making her one of the most surprising cast members. After her fire-eating days, LaWanda Page became a stand-up comedian, earning titles like the Queen of Comedy or the Black Queen of Comedy. But her humor was very different from what viewers saw on Sanford and Son. She was famous for blue comedy, which meant her jokes were often raunchy and about sexuality, race relations, and religion. One of her albums, Watch It Sucker, logically became a gold-selling hit. The title used Aunt Esther's famous catchphrase, but the jokes on the album were very much for adults. She would use wordplay, observational humor, and even physical comedy, once removing her underwear on stage and auctioning it off. LaWanda Page and Red Fox were not just co-stars on Sanford and Son, they were very close childhood friends. They grew up together in St. Louis. This deep friendship played a huge role in how Aunt Esther came to be on the show. When Sanford and Son was first starting, the producers felt that LaWanda was not ready for television acting and wanted to fire her. But Red Fox stepped in and made a powerful stand. He famously said, "Hell no," and threatened to walk off the show if they did not keep her. Because of Red's strong demand, the producers decided to keep LaWanda Page, and she went on to become one of the most memorable characters on TV in the 1970s. Red Fox's strong loyalty to his childhood friend LaWanda Page, which led him to threaten to leave Sanford and Son if she was fired, shows a powerful personal bond that was more important than professional concerns. This key moment made sure Aunt Esther's famous role happened and highlights the deep, supportive friendship that was the real basis of their well-known on-screen rivalry. Sadly, the demanding schedule of her acting career, including her time on Sanford and Son, took a heavy toll on LaWanda Page's health. She passed away in 2002 at the age of 81 from serious complications related to diabetes. Before her TV career, when she was known as the Bronze Goddess of Fire, her health and appearance were very important to her. But the tough demands of filming Sanford and Son and other Hollywood roles contributed to her health getting worse. For many years, a popular rumor spread that LaWanda Page was the younger sister of actress Lynn Hamilton, who played Fred's kind girlfriend, Donna Harris. This rumor was even mentioned in LaWanda Page's obituary in the Los Angeles Times. However, Demond Wilson, who co-starred with both actresses, officially cleared up this rumor in 2016. He confirmed that while LaWanda Page and Lynn Hamilton were not actually related as sisters, they did become very good friends during their time working together on the show. The supporting cast's surprising lives and legacies.
He said just because he had planted a Garden of Eden, there was no reason to let the serpent in.
Beyond Fred, Lamont, and Aunt Esther, the world of Sanford and Son was brought to life by a talented group of supporting actors. These performers, who played beloved characters like Grady, Bubba, and Rollo, also had surprising life stories and hidden challenges that shaped their time on the show and their lives afterward. Whitman Mayo played the stooped, elderly Grady Wilson, Fred Sanford's best friend and fellow schemer. But here is something most fans never knew. Whitman Mayo was only in his early 40s when Sanford and Son first aired. He was much younger than the old man he played on screen. He based the character of Grady on his own grandfather. Before becoming an actor, Mayo lived a truly fascinating life. He served in the U.S. Army from 1951 to 1953. After that, he worked as a counselor for troubled young boys for 7 years. He also picked grapes, worked at a dairy, and was a railroad worker. In a surprising twist, he even spent a year in Mexico playing professional volleyball. After Sanford and Son, Mayo got his own short-lived spin-off show called Grady, where his character moved out of Watts. He also shared his knowledge by teaching acting at Clark Atlanta University and even opened his own travel agency. Don Bexley played Bubba, Fred Sanford's loyal and often bewildered friend. What many viewers did not know is that Don and Red Fox were incredibly close friends for nearly 50 years. Their bond started long before they ever appeared together on Sanford and Son. Don Bexley was already a seasoned entertainer before his TV debut. He worked as an orchestra director, a singer, a dancer, and a stand-up comedian. He was even the first black stand-up comic to perform in the famous Borscht Belt Hotel circuit, a popular entertainment area. It was Red Fox himself who personally asked Don to join Sanford and Son, giving him his very first television role at the age of 62. Their friendship was so deep that Don Bexley was an honorary pallbearer at Red Fox's funeral, a sign of profound respect and love. And here is another surprising fact. Don Bexley was actually more than 12 years older than Red Fox, despite their characters often seeming to be of similar age. Don Bexley and Red Fox were best friends for nearly 50 years, with Red personally bringing Don to the show, revealing a deep bond behind their on-screen antics. Nathaniel Taylor played Rollo Lawson, Lamont Sanford's street-smart best friend. His character was a familiar and often funny face to millions of viewers. But Nathaniel Taylor's life after the show took a difficult and surprising turn. In April 1986, he was arrested on burglary charges along with his brother. This happened after about $200,000 worth of computers and typewriters were stolen from a sports club in West Los Angeles. After his acting career slowed down, Nathaniel Taylor chose a path of giving back to the community. He opened a performing arts studio for young actors. Perhaps he hoped to use his own experiences to guide them away from similar troubles and toward a more positive future in the arts. Lynn Hamilton played Donna Harris, Fred Sanford's kind and patient girlfriend who worked as a nurse. While her role might not have been as flashy or dramatic as some of her co-stars, Lynn Hamilton had a remarkably long and steady career in Hollywood, showing a different kind of strength and dedication. She appeared in Broadway plays and spent 3 years with the famous New York Shakespeare Festival. Beyond Sanford and Son, she had recurring roles on other popular television shows, including The Waltons, where she played Verdi Grant Foster, and Good Times. She also appeared in important miniseries like Roots, The Next Generations. For nearly 5 decades, from 1964 until his death in 2014, Lynn Hamilton was married to poet and playwright Frank Jenkins. Sanford and Son brought endless laughter to millions, but behind the scenes, the lives of its beloved cast were filled with surprising challenges, hidden pasts, and profound personal journeys. These untold truths reveal the complex realities of fame, the deep bonds of friendship, and the personal sacrifices made by the talented individuals who created one of television's most iconic shows.